But do you think with the online fighting that we sometimes overplay the divergence within Protestantism and the unity within Catholicism? Or do you think, no, even with our little kind of sneering disagreements with each other, the unity in Catholicism is still the major selling point for Protestants?
That's a great question. I think it depends on the Protestant you're talking to, because some Protestants make a really big deal out of the divisions within Protestantism. They fight with each other, and they're really hung up on those nuanced positions within Protestantism about, let's say, baptism or the Holy Spirit or the end times or whatever, sacraments, how to do church. There's a lot of infighting about that. Mm-hmm. I still think it's wise for Catholics to talk about the divisions in Protestantism, but not at that level, because we have it at that level too.
Gotcha.
Okay, I mean,
Gotcha.
some of the things I mentioned.
Yeah.
So I think when we talk about the divisions within Protestantism, we have to keep it to a higher level of division. Okay, not on the lower levels of things. Okay, the more shallow things.
Yeah, like we prefer this kind of music.
Exactly, because they're going to look at us and say, "Well, you guys have the same thing. You got all these guys fighting about Latin Mass, Novus Ordo, whatever." We need to downplay those divisions and highlight the upper level, the things that really truly matter to the faith that Protestants are divided on. Okay, those are big deals. Baptism is a big deal. Whether or not you can lose your salvation is a big deal. Those are things that really truly matter. And if Protestants want to try to say, well, we're united on the most of the important things, here's an even bigger deal. Who gets to say what those things are? Unity in the essentials, charity in the non-essentials. Well, in a Protestant mindset, you can't really say that because, first of all, we don't even know what the essentials and the non-essentials are, and we don't have an authority that can tell us.
And the Bible doesn't lay it out.
No. So we can say, well, that's, who gets to make that call? In Catholicism, we don't have that issue. We have other issues. We don't have that issue. We have the church's teaching that is there. If you want to know what the church teaches on a given subject, you can find the answer, and every Catholic has to agree with that when it comes down to the dogmas of the Christian faith. We don't have these divergent issues on things like whether or not you can lose your salvation or justification by faith or a faith alone. We don't have that. So we need to highlight those areas of unity because those are the ones that really matter. The problem is when we don't do that, Protestants think all division is created equal. And they look at us and they go, well, you guys are just as divided. You've got Franciscans and you've got Dominicans and you've got Jesuits. So there you go. And I'm constantly telling people, those are not different denominations within Catholicism. Those are different areas of focus and different areas of mission, but they're all under the same authority. They all have the same ultimate authority and doctrine and teaching. We're unified in the faith. Those are just different ways of living it out. You guys don't have that unity. You couldn't even if you tried, because there is no authority in that mindset. I think it's good to highlight those things, but we have to make sure we're highlighting the right areas of division and we are emphasizing the right areas of unity in Catholicism, so that way those two things aren't seen as apples to apples.
Mm-hmm. I thought of an analogy recently. You may have thought of it as well. If you've got a couple of dumbbells in your garage and you've got a big equipped gym up the road, you can kind of work out well with a couple of dumbbells, but it takes a lot more work. Likewise, or analogously, you could have somebody at the gym up the road just scrolling Instagram, sitting on the bench. And I think that's not it's not perfect, but it's an analogy for Catholicism and Protestantism. Like, we've all met Protestants who love Jesus Christ, and they have the scriptures, and they can teach us things about it, and we should be humble enough to learn from them. I don't mean anything novel, not something the church hasn't taught or that the saints haven't taught, but we all know individual Protestants who just are beautiful, and they might put us to shame in our own prayer life and Bible reading and things like this. I guess just throwing that out there for all the Protestants who are watching us. I mean, in saying that we want people to become Catholic, it's not to say that we don't think that you love Jesus Christ or can't be more advanced than me in prayer or something like that.
I think it's a great analogy. I would just add one piece to it.
Yep.
Okay, you've got the guy with the dumbbells scrolling on his phone, trying to figure it out on his own.
Yeah.
Down the road, you've got the beautiful gym with the personal trainer.
Yeah, come on.
Who can say to you, here's what you need to do. Otherwise, you can go on YouTube and look for fitness videos and different plans, but ultimately, you can just try to figure it out on your own. And you know what? You're going to have some results, because some of the things that you're going to do on your own are the same things that the trainer who knows what he's talking about would tell you to do. But you're not going to know everything that you're supposed to do. And he does, okay? So your personal trainer who knows how to train you and what to have you do, because I don't know. I mean, I've gone through that journey in my own life, and I tell you this, when I'm trying to get in shape, it's much easier when I have someone who's going to say, here's the weight, here's how many times you have to do it.
Yeah.
Not, okay, well, what should I do today?
Totally.
I got these things I could do. That's whatever I do is probably going to be good to some degree, but he's going to tell me exactly what to do to get the desired result. I think that's Catholicism. So I love your analogy. I would just add the teaching element of the personal trainer who knows what you really should be doing to get the result.
How did that happen for you when you crossed over the Tiber into Catholicism? If you're anything like me, you sometimes reach the end of summer feeling a little spiritually drained and in need of rest. That's why I'm excited to tell you about St. Michael's Lent with Exodus 90. Rooted in an ancient tradition practiced by St. Francis of Assisi, this 40-day journey was born out of his deep devotion to St. Michael the Archangel. So, men, join us on August 15th for St. Michael's Lent and get ready to fight the good fight. That's exodus90.com/Matt.
Oh, it was incredibly freeing, because I felt the pressure constantly and the insecurity at the same time of thinking, how do I know what's true with this? How do I navigate through this conflict that I was having in my own denomination that was going very liberal when I was, at the time, relatively conservative, okay? I'm more conservative now as a Catholic, but theologically, I mean, okay? How do I figure out how to navigate through this when I've got all these supposed smart people who they have the same Bible I have, and they've got more degrees than I do, and they're telling me that, it's okay for these particular things to happen that we're arguing about, and that I'm clearly going, this isn't biblical, this isn't right. And then apart from even the conflict, just wanting to know God, wanting to know what's true, and seeing so many theologians that I loved and respected and preachers that I loved and respected, but that had completely different takes on things. I loved listening to Tim Keller. I loved listening to him. But I also listened to other guys who were not Reformed Calvinists, and they had beautiful takes on things too. And, I was a Calvary Chapel guy when I was young, and I loved that aspect of it too, but those things don't always line up either. And trying to figure out, well, which one's right? How are we supposed to do this? That, to me, was exhausting. And when I became Catholic, it was just like I could say, I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to figure out how many sets or how many reps or how much weight I should do, or should I go 3 days or 5 days, or should I do that? All I have to do is I'm going to have to work hard, no doubt. It's not easy. I'm going to have to work hard, but I'm working hard at what I'm supposed to be doing. Right? When I go to the gym with the personal trainer, I love this analogy, Matt. I'm going to steal it. And when I go to the gym with the personal trainer, I'm going to work harder than I was working over here, but it's on the right thing.
Yeah.
So to me, I wasn't afraid of hard work in my faith. I wanted to do that. I wanted to dig. I wanted to know the truth and follow it and live it. It's just when I became Catholic, I felt like I finally had the fullness of what that meant, which was so freeing and the cause of such incredible joy. Nothing else mattered. Losing my income didn't matter. Losing, my career path and my identity as a pastor didn't matter. Losing what I knew I was going to do for the next, 25 years of my life didn't matter. All the other things. They were important, but they were nothing compared to the beauty of what I was stepping into. So to me, I just go, that's what we need to do.
What revealed the beauty of the Catholic Church to you? Was it a local parish?
Oh, man. Well, first of all, it was seeing the faith lived out in a few people in my life that I knew very well who were hardcore Catholics. Devin Schott is one of them. I know he was on your show recently. Seeing his faith, because
Yeah, I remember you were telling me the story about the two of you getting into an argument.
Oh, man, we got into tons of arguments.
He's terrific.
But when I saw how he lived out his faith through cancer and through what happened with his daughter Anna Marie, and like he's the real deal, man. He wasn't just going, well, I'm a Catholic, so I have to suffer and like it. He found purpose and meaning, and I remember watching him just going, I couldn't do that. I still do that. So seeing the faith lived out in the lives of a few people that I knew close, and there were others too. My friend Greg is another one. So that was, but then when I started going to Mass and really understanding, and then of course, we talked about learning the Catholic faith online, different things, seeing the beauty of it, reading the Church Fathers, reading some of these things that these people were going through, and understanding the sacraments in a better way. I think that was so beautiful to me when I started to really understand the Eucharist. When I started to understand confession, I saw that as beauty. I saw that as freedom. And I wanted it to be true. Even the things affiliated with the Blessed Virgin Mary, I saw the devotion that people had to her, but it wasn't something that made me think, oh, she's a distraction or she is an obstacle. I saw how their devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary made them more in love with Jesus. And they had this faith that seemed otherworldly to me. And it wasn't like less than what I had. It was more than what I had. And I wanted that. I wanted that.
Thanks very much for watching that clip. You can click the link below if you want to watch the full interview. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.